What is going on, cryptocurrency investors? Welcome back to Crypto Blessing. We provide at least one video every week recapping all of the biggest stories in the market. Even though the entire market cap is approximately 1/8 of what it was, Bitcoin dominance is higher than it's been in a long time, the fundamentals remain incredibly on fire. So much development is happening, so many new exchanges are coming up, one of which is the DX.Exchange that we're going to talk about first. But so much development is happening in every single asset, it's hard to keep up sometimes. This space could easily go below $100 billion, or we could be at 250 in the next 30 to 60 days. Nobody quite knows. We had a flash pump. Bitcoin jumped $200 just yesterday. Stellar Lumens did particularly well, while the rest of the market is so heavily influenced by Bitcoin right now because it's at 51% of the entire market. This space is still very much growing, very much in its infancy, and I don't think any hardcore crypto enthusiast has wavered in the past year on their long-term projections for what this space is capable of doing. Radical social transformation is before us. It is just going to take a lot longer than any of us generally think, and you must implore patience. You must do a ton of research because this is a very complicated topic. One that shouldn't be taken lightly. Investing in some of these altcoins, particularly small market coins, or assets that don't have a lot of volume, don't have a lot of liquidity, is a very risky endeavor. Don't put any money you're not willing to lose, because like I said, we could easily go below $100 billion. Tone Vays recently said he thinks Bitcoin's going to hit $1,000. And a number of other market experts, quote unquote, are talking about Bitcoin getting further retracements. Looking at the global market charts over the past 3 months, we can see we bottomed out halfway through December at $100 billion. Right now we're at 136, so we are nowhere near out of the woods. The last month we've had 2 significant pumps, one that began retracing on Christmas Day, and over the last week or two we've seen a slight rise, with yesterday getting a $200 flash pump in Bitcoin, with the total market cap jumping almost $8 billion. Bitcoin over the last 3 months is very similar, although it's experienced sharper declines, falling from 6,300 down to 4K and then down to 3,200, where we found bottom. Since hitting 3,200, buy volume continued to grow, where it peaked on December 21st. Since then, we've been dismal, with only $5 billion in 24-hour volume. You think only $5 billion compared to where this space has been in the past, that is low. But coming from a realistic perspective, $5 billion is traded in this asset every single day. And that's just a portion of the $16 billion that's traded every single day. This space commands a lot of capital, and that is not going to change as time goes on. It's probably only going to grow. At least that's what many of us hope at this point. First up, we have Justin Soon on Twitter saying that Tron will surpass Bitcoin SV very soon. And if you have a look at where the market cap is of these two assets, they are so ridiculously close. Tron has been fighting with Cardano over the last several months for the 10th position, and they are also relatively close, but so are a number of other assets as well, like Stellar and Litecoin. Litecoin getting a parabolic jump the other day. But across the board, for the most part, today we are down. There's still assets that are pumping insanely. New assets that I've never heard of before, with a 24-hour volume of 63,000. So that's not an asset I'd be interested in. Other assets like Repo in the 58th position at $2,000 in 24-hour volume. So that's kind of shocking to see such low volume assets in the top 100. It just goes to show how low volume is across the board for where we've been. If you've been in this market for longer than a year, you're well aware that this is a crazy story right now. In the grand scheme of things, we will likely never see prices like this again. Once we surpass 20K again, the sky is really the limit. Could Bitcoin be a Berkshire Hathaway worth multiple 6 figures? That I'm not entirely sure about. A lot of speculation about Bitcoin's next halving being one of the significant catalysts for a bull run, but we will just have to wait and see. First up, we have significant news for Ripple. Kuwait Financial House is now offering 0 fees, instant international transfers with Ripple's blockchain technology. And according to Reddit, they generally think they're going to be using XRapid, which is very positive for the native token XRP. There's a lot of publications that have been talking about this story, and Ripple has responded in kind. It was green a little while ago, but now we have just touched into the red, still significantly above 30 cents, which is great for XRP holders. With Bitcoin dominance being over 50%, Bitcoin has much higher of an influence on this market, so when it suffers, generally the rest of the market does suffer. But XRP and TRX, along with Litecoin and Stellar, have not really been in tune with Bitcoin. Bitcoin could retrace while these assets could still pump. Tron being the exception, as well as Litecoin. Look at that rise. But Tron has been a consistent grower over the past 7 days, as is evidenced by the 7-day graph. Now I go on to the biggest story in my opinion. It's been heralded as a revolutionary idea, this DX.Exchange. Although they've yet to actually deliver on this promise and we've yet to actually see the popularity of this product, it is a very interesting and very new concept for anyone in the cryptocurrency markets. Like I said, people are calling it a revolutionary regulated European exchange that just went live today. It is the first time you can trade cryptocurrencies, including XRP and popular NASDAQ stocks, which are in a tokenized form. This is stocks like Apple, Facebook, Tesla, all on the same platform as other cryptocurrencies, which is a very novel idea. It's just yet to see its popularity because it's a completely new concept. It might take time. DX.Exchange might not even get it right. However, this idea is very attractive, particularly for those that are actively investing, actively day trading, and either have to use multiple platforms to do traditional stocks versus crypto, or have yet to even jump into crypto altogether. This could be very revolutionary. Their user interface looks great, and they offer currently 10 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, OmiseGo, Dash, DX.Coin, which I assume is their native token, Enigma, and Digibyte. For XRP, they've made available XRP to Bitcoin, XRP to Ethereum, XRP to USD, and XRP to Euros, as well as XRP to the Japanese yen. The 10 NASDAQ stocks you will be able to buy are Facebook, Intel, Amazon, Baidu, Apple, what I think is Nvidia or Nvidisa. No, it's got to be Nvidia. Nvidia, despite the typo, Netflix, Microsoft, Tesla, and Google. Since these tokens are backed one by shares in these companies, it's possible to buy a fraction of the stock, subject to a certain minimum order limits in case you are worried what would happen. It's the first time as well that it makes it possible to buy a fraction of a stock because these assets are going to be tokenized. If the price of one Apple stock is $145, you could buy a fraction of it, much like Bitcoin and or generally any other cryptocurrency. However, there are minimum amounts. With Facebook, it's 0.15 of a token, while in the case of Amazon, which is significantly higher, Facebook's $138, while Amazon is over $1,500, the minimum order amount is 0.015, so significantly less, which could be very attractive. Like I said, it's just yet to see how popular this exchange will be, how good the user interface is, and how seamless the whole process will end up being. Time will tell, and as usual, all we can do is continue to monitor these markets. Just like I said, the fundamentals in this space are so good. Kelly Loeffler, the CEO of BAC, said that people are far too focused on price. This space is developing. The individual assets are always coming out with new developments. They're always working tirelessly. Given this year of bear market, it's even given the assets more opportunity to develop. Rather than focus on the viral marketing campaigns, rather than focus on Twitter, they're able to actually write code and get things developed in order to hopefully await the day that the majority of the traditional sector comes knocking and wants to implement some form of blockchain technology in order to save money, in order to make things more efficient, or due to the overwhelming customer demand for a system that, for example, their competitors might have already implemented. It is just going to take time. You must implore patience, do all of your own research. Be skeptical of any content creators that are telling you to buy something. The vast majority of us are not financial advisors. We are just people like you and generally have a strong interest in a decentralized framework and what it can do socially for the entire world. Continue to follow the content here at Crypto Blessing as I report on the weekly ebb and flow, bringing you up to date on everything that's happening. Don't be too hung up on price. You just have to wait and see. This space is poised to do significant work when it eventually gets applied to various industries. Some of that is already beginning, and we are witnessing a revolution, a global paradigm shift, the likes of which I've never seen. Regardless of where this market goes, I will be here reporting on the weekly news. So if you enjoy any of our content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of the content. Hang in there, hodl on, and I'll see you all in the next video.